So the last thing I want to do is give you buyer's remorse and give you a big old welcome to the course. Hey, have fun. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. No, I want to give you value right up front, and I want to teach you the most important lesson that you can learn first about storytelling, about marketing, about business, anything under that umbrella. And I made this mistake. I did not know this lesson. People told me to do this exercise that we're going to review, and I never did it. And I struggled for years. I had a failed podcast, failed blog, YouTube. It took me 3 months to get to 100 followers because I didn't do this, right? So, what is it? Building your story avatar. And I'm going to take you step by step to basically get infinite story ideas, know who you're writing for, get your messaging across, and start to build a cult-like following. And I just want to let you know that if you don't know who you're telling your stories to, your story's going to fail, your marketing's going to fail, your business will fail as a result. If you're just writing to random people, random stuff, like yesterday I was walking the dog and, just random things that don't make sense. You need to tell specific stories. They can be relatable everyday stories, but with lessons that solve problems for who your target is, right? And I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. It's a really fun exercise. You're going to get a calendar full of ideas, and they're validated ideas. You'll no longer have to wonder, are people going to like this? You're not going to be scared to hit publish because you know you're solving problems through your own relatable experiences, right? So without further ado, let's dive in. So like I said, if you don't do this, people are going to unsubscribe. They're going to unfollow you. You're going to get ignored. I know how it feels. I did this for a very long time, and I failed longer than I've been successful. So please trust me when I say this. If there's anything you're going to take from this course, do this exercise. It'll make things way easier. Your business, your content marketing, your marketing, whatever you're doing is going to be like pushing a rock downhill, not pushing a rock uphill, right? So everything changed when I had one of my first writing clients who was a 9-figure startup founder. He was a CEO for that, and now he's a CEO coach. And he told me something that completely changed the trajectory of my life and my business and gave me success. And basically what he said is you can get lucky and start a 6-figure business without an avatar, but you'll never hit 7 figures, right? And what he means is you can write stories and messages and it might catch on to the right audience. You might get lucky. That stuff happens, but I don't like betting on luck. And as soon as I developed my own avatar and knew their voice, their problems, I could create solutions that they found valuable. And if you're showing up in the inbox, if you're on ads, even if you're on social media and you're telling stories that solve problems, they might not go viral, but people are going to get value. They're going to follow you. They're going to like you. They're going to see your face and be like, oh, cool. I like this guy. They're going to see you in the inbox. Oh, cool. I like this stuff. I'm learning. It's helpful, right? So just keep this quote in mind. And keep this in mind too. So your avatar, knowing your avatar will give you an infinite amount of ideas. And I'm going to show you this awesome process that I have to do this to basically come up with a ton of story ideas that are validated super quick and get your calendar full. So you don't have to scratch your head and wonder if you should post something, what you should write about. So without further ado, let's get started. Step one, what you're going to do is print out a random person. Any face. If it's a woman, a man, it could be Chewbacca if you're into Star Wars, and stick that on the wall of your office, right? So like just put it somewhere. It could be any kind of face. You could draw a stick figure, and I learned this from Russell Brunson, right? That's why we got this sweet picture of him here with his awesome charisma. But basically, you need this face somewhere. Put it in a Notion file and look at it whenever you're building something, whenever you're writing something, whenever you're doing something, right? Because whatever you're doing in your message, there's another person on the other side of that message. And a lot of people forget this. It's very easy to forget this. And just by sending random stuff, you're going to be getting different kinds of people. Just keep that person in mind. A lot of people say, write to yourself 2 years ago. That didn't work for me because I was just an electrician and I was just giving terrible life advice to an electrician, which no one cared about, right? So like I picked an avatar, I picked creators, and now I target business owners. And once I started doing that and giving advice to creators and stories about how to solve their problems, everything changed. So just have that face in there. And remember, everything you do is a transfer of energy. And why, whether it's sales, whether it's writing, marketing, stand-up comedy, anything you do is a transfer of energy. How you feel when you write a story is how someone will feel when they read it. And so by having that human face, it's like, what are they feeling? what is keeping them up at night? And if you can write a story around that and put some oomph in it, it's going to put you miles ahead of everyone else. So take a moment. You can pause this, print a face, put it somewhere, draw it on the wall, let your kids take some crayon and draw something on the wall, whatever you need to do, but just have that there as your beacon, right? This is your story avatar. So once you do that, let's go to the next step. So for this example, we're going to use Bob. He's your dream customer. You can have Barbara, you can have whoever. I like Bob. It's simple, right? Can't forget Bob. And so as you can see, now we have this face. I'm going to stick Bob somewhere where I will always look at Bob and wonder, what does Bob need? How can I help Bob? What can I make today that is going to make Bob's life better and maybe even turn Bob into a customer? So you need to answer these questions, right? And by answering these questions, if you don't know your story avatar, if you can't answer these questions off the top of your head, don't worry. I have an exercise on how I scrape the internet instantly and get answers to these so you don't have to sweat. And I don't know Bob's dreams, right? I don't even know who Bob is. But just by having these questions, and don't worry, I've got these all below the video in the Thrive Card section with the writing. It's going to be provided in the email. It's all here. So don't get overwhelmed by the questions because we're going to get these answers super fast, right? And we're going to know Bob better than he knows himself in the next 5 minutes. It's very exciting. But just keep in mind, if you can answer these questions about Bob, about your story avatar, and have them somewhere, you're going to have infinite ideas, provide infinite value, and you're going to be miles ahead of your competition, right? So let's dive in. We're going to use Perplexity, right? And so Perplexity is awesome because it scrapes the entire internet. It's free. You can use the free version, and I've given you a prompt to use to basically scrape the internet and find Bob's problems. So it basically goes through Reddit, blogs, LinkedIn, forums, and you can basically find people's responses in their own voice, right? For example, there might be a Reddit thread of Bob's, right? Like say he's a plumber. It'll go through the Reddit thread of plumbing, and I'll ask it to search for a specific phrase, and I will get someone's own voice from that Reddit thread of what their problem was, right? It's like, oh man, it's so hard to find a job as a plumber. It keeps me up at night. I don't know how I'm going to feed the kids. Perplexity, instead of having to crawl through Reddit for plumbers, will just take it and spit it out and give it to you, right? So what we're going to do here is pause this, and I'll see you in Perplexity, and I'll show you exactly what to do from there. Okay, fantastic. So we are inside Perplexity, and what we are going to do is use this prompt. Don't worry, I have the prompt saved below this video in the writing information below this. You'll get it in the email in your inbox. You will have access to it, but I'm going to show you how awesome this is to find out who the hell Bob is, right? So what we're going to do is, for context, as a world market researcher with 20 years of experience building ICP profiles for high-end clients, help me find or understand my story avatar by answering these questions in their express. So like, first off, answer what you do. And you know what? I don't really like plumbers because I was an electrician. So for context, I'm an owner of a plumbing company, right? Okay. So then my audience consists of basically audience or customers. So it's going to be people who need a plumber. Oh, wow. Cool. And so what this is going to do is basically scrape. I use the pro version. You don't need the pro version for this. I don't have an affiliate link for this in there either. But basically, let's see what it comes up with. And it's going to scrape the internet.